So jumping right in, over the years, one of the first things that I have found to be critically important in spaces where we are discussing equity is to lay a common foundation surrounding the specific terms and or work that we're discussing, thus reducing any misalignment between terms, particularly equity and equality, which are oftentimes used either interchangeably or misused. Yet we know they mean something completely different.
We like to define equity often in our district. You know, in education, we've moved away from really describing it as educational equality, but educational equity, because with equity, we know that we are putting more focus on the individuals and not on the whole, because even when you get your fair slice, so to speak, with equality, you don't necessarily get what you need individually to make sure that you're gaining access and you have full, rights to all that our district offers. And so we've moved to the word equity, looking at the individual child, what every single student needs in order to thrive and be successful.
It's hard to focus on equality when there are historical disparities that have taken place. It's almost like running a 100-yard race and we're starting someone at the 50-yard line. And then you say, go. And when you say go, the person at the 50-yard line and 100-yard line leave at the exact same time. That's equality. However, equity is saying go and having the person at the 50-yard line wait until the person who's at the starting mark gets to the 50-yard line and then letting the person at the 50-yard line go. Now we have equality.
Equity is around recognizing that all solutions can't be the same. And equality is, in fact, providing the same solutions to all. And the recognition that we are all in different places, in different, and I'm a data guy by background, so that you can slice all of this work into any number of disaggregated perspectives and positions, but recognizing that how we got to those positions is all very different is, I think, a really important grounding for how you try to then put forward solutions that make sense.
What do we value as a city? And those values should be reflected in that budget. As we begin to take the time to acknowledge the fact that Dallas is an inequitable city right now, our vision and focus should be on making Dallas equitable. We have to acknowledge, as you said, the historical context of how we got where we are today, and what we need to do in order for us to have a better tomorrow. We have to have individuals who are not Black or brown, who are saying the same thing and acknowledging the fact that this has to be a collective effort. White, Black, brown, and other all have to stand together and say, in order for us to have an equitable city, we have to be willing to sacrifice and overinvest in communities that have been discriminated against. The state of Texas has the lowest voter turnout of any state in the country, the absolute lowest voter turnout. There are a variety of reasons for that. Some say it's the stringent voting law, voter ID laws, and voter suppression tactics that have been implemented here in the state of Texas. I think a bigger issue is apathy. And so when you talk about equity and you talk about civic engagement, people have to feel like they matter. Once again, they have to feel like their voice is being heard.
If you disaggregate that data, about half of our white residents make a living wage, and less than a quarter of our Black and Hispanic residents make a living wage. Can we move the needle for our living wage workers in Dallas through education, through exposure to the workforce, through coaching, guiding, and mentorship, through all sorts of strategies. But in the end, can we move our community toward a more equitable and just community? We believe the answer to that is unquestionably yes.